Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo, I see you. Peekaboo. Hey guys, welcome to Fangs Out. We are continuing talking about Poltergeist, the franchise, and we talked about the remake, which was heinous. We talked about part 3, that was pretty bad. Now, we're counting backwards, so we're going to part 2. And guess what? Part 2 is actually a decent sequel. Don't get me wrong, it's not as good as part 1, of course, that would be next to impossible. But there's a lot to enjoy about this film. What's good? The acting, the family's back, everybody's good. It's actually a very realistic thing after the events of part 1. They're trying to regain themselves, especially Craig t.nelson, the father. He's trying to regain his confidence to lead the family, to be able to become a provider economically, and be able to protect the family not only from the supernatural stuff that went down, but also from life, kind of being a provider, kind of being all you can understand how tough it is to go out there, get a job, and if you have wife and kids and stuff like that, man, that it all becomes all too real for you, that if you lose your job and you want to regather yourself, it's really hard, especially in today's trying times. Really, it's rather realistic spin. We get another thing that we really like. We get a Native American spin. Every time you can, I love it. I love Asian horror because it blends a lot of the actual belief of Asians when it comes to horror. They blend it in the movie, which makes it more real. And in this case, the Native American stuff, I love it. I love anything that has to do with horror. I always admire it, and when they bring this aspect of the spirits and the other side and all this stuff, very creepy, very good actor, Native American, the guy that plays a Native American shaman, that helps out. Zelda Rubinstein's. I don't care how many, that they tried to say that she was a bad actress, when she was alive. And she is fantastic. I can't. You know how in Beetlejuice you have the people who contact the supernatural, able to speak to the supernatural, usually strange and unusual. That's Zelda for you. That's what I picture if I find a real life medium that looked just like her. I was like, lady, you know what you're doing, and she hits it out of the park. But Heather O'Rourke, once again, adorable as a little girl, really growing on her acting skills, really acting terrifying, and sometimes even being afraid of her father because of a few things I don't want to spoil here. Biggest deal of this movie though is Kane. Oh my god. Unlike part 3 where he's recasted and made into a mirror joke, in here he's real. He walks among us. He is seductive. He is crazy. And the legend goes that he was a reverend of a sect, of a religious sect that believed the end of the world was coming to the end. So he brought all his followers, his flock, and made them go into a cave underground to wait for the end of the world. But when the world didn't end, freaking King was so evil, he just left them there to die. And when he died, he became a beast. He became a demonic force that wants Carol Ann to use her medium powers to help command all the souls of all the people that were lost in that. Love the plot, love the acting. I mean, it's a really worthy sequel. It's really creepy imagery, good special effects, really, really right down to nitty gritty. It's a worthy movie to see. Does it have any negatives? Yes, it does. There's a, the first one just made everything so believable. Everything. This has a little bit of a cheesy factor. I mean, it's not much. I'm nitpicking, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the same strength, and as because everything, because back then you got Spielberg and you got Toby Hooper, and you don't have them anymore here, and it shows. But and other than that, perhaps a few pacing issues, like I said, nitpicking. Other than that, very good, solid film, recommended 100%. Love Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Definitely you gotta watch it. Stay tuned because we're gonna talk about the mother of all, Poltergeist, on next video.